Hello everyone, and welcome to Picture Avenue. My name's Callum,
And my name's Harry.
and this is episode 2.
Hoorah!
Who
We have returned
we have
to the YouTube...
domain.
Yes.
It
The
has,
YouTube territory.
It's been quite a month of stuff. I mean, the date we're recording this on, just for notes about films, is the 23rd, the morning of the 23rd.
The 23rd of March, 2017.
A glorious year where we try and repay what we did to 2016.
Yes, because that wasn't a very great year for a lot of people.
No, it wasn't. It was a good year for film.
It was a great year for film.
But anyway, we're here to talk about this year.
We're here to talk about this year film. And obviously we talked about January and February in the first episode.
Yes.
And in this next episode, we're talking about sort of the tail end of February and...
March.
Yeah, what we have of March.
We're gonna have to
recording.
We're gonna have to do that in every podcast because we get it out for every last Monday.
Yeah.
There'll be some films that come out at the end of a month that we wouldn't have seen by then.
Yes.
Or we just didn't have time to see it.
True.
Which is quite a common occurrence at the minute.
For this month especially, this is probably going to be a shorter podcast because me and Callum have been quite busy. So we've not had time to go to the cinema an awful lot. So it's sort of just been a kind of once a week basis kind of thing. Apart from Logan, which we kind of saw about.
I've seen 6 times now.
You've seen it 6 times?
Yeah, I think I might have seen it 7 actually.
I've only seen it 2 times.
I loved it, man. I've always been popping out to watch it. I probably should have spent that time to watch every other film.
Yeah.
I didn't care really. Logan's just such a good.
It is. We'll get to that though.
We'll get to it.
We will get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're keeping it all spoiler free.
Yes,
Don't you
definitely. Just like with the last podcast and with every podcast that we're going to do, it is spoiler free, so anybody can listen to this. So don't panic. You will not have to go away because you've not seen the film because you know. We realise that people don't necessarily always have the time or the money to go to the pictures. Yes, but you know, all the same, we want to make sure that everyone is involved in this.
And it's quite hard to go somewhere on the internet and find people talking about something without spoilers.
Very true. Very
hard.
true. So we want to provide that safe place, I guess.
Safe and nurturing. Come into our arms. It's fine.
Yes, come into our metaphorical podcast arms.
So
we welcome you with open arms.
Right.
Yes, that's great. So
what films have we seen?
What films have we seen? Okay, so this month we have horror / thriller / social commentary / comedy, I guess you could say. Get Out. And we also have.
I'll just leave. Yeah.
There he is. Oh yes, Callum's not seen that one. I've seen that one. But I'll talk about that later on. And then we've got Kong Skull Island, which is a film about a big gorilla. In case you didn't know who.
That's not a spoiler, really. You know.
Yeah.
It's been like 50 years.
Yeah, like King Kong's been sort of in the public consciousness. And what was the other one? The Great Wall, and that's not about Donald Trump. It's about the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, it was a myth, a legend, or something.
And we also have the highly discussed Best Picture winner at the Oscars, Moonlight. And let me tell you, that's going to be an interesting discussion.
Oh God! Don't hate us, or don't hate me.
Don't hate us. Yeah, I think we both share the same opinion.
Yeah, we share the same opinion.
But yes, now before we get to our spotlight film, which we've already spoken about, it's probably obvious, you know, what the spotlight film is for this month. You know.
Yeah. It's Trapped in a Cage. I swear that was a film that came out this month or something.
It's Trapped in what?
No idea. I was looking at films that came out. I think it came out for 2 days.
There was a film called It's Trapped in a Cage.
Something like that. I swear I saw it last night. It was very weird.
Probably one of those under the radar films, a bit like American Pastoral, which I mentioned in the last episode.
I think we should just work American Pastoral into every podcast.
I think we should. Yeah. I want to talk about it one day.
Yeah.
But I'll need to rewatch it because
it's been a while.
It has been a while, and with us watching like loads of films, it kind of slips from your memory. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just So. We'll talk about that one day. I mean, we are thinking about doing something on the side where, you know, aside from this podcast, which obviously talks about these latest cinema releases, like the newest films,
Stuff that you can still see in the cinema right now.
Yeah. Aside from doing that, we were thinking on the side maybe doing some kind of retro reviews, discussions of films which have already come out, and we're not just talking like a few years back. So like last year, American Pastoral. Or a few years back, something like, I don't know, The Avengers, but maybe something which is more classic. So like we were talking yesterday, in fact, about reviewing like, you know, the original Star Wars films, something like.
I would just need to rewatch Star Wars because it's been a few years since I think I've actually watched all of them.
Yeah, I watched them recently. Oh, I went to the Star Wars exhibition in London. That was excellent. That was an excellent experience. There's a Star Wars exhibition in the O2 in London. Highly recommend it if you can still get down to it. I believe it's only a temporary attraction.
It's there till like November though, isn't it?
It's there until September, I think. September the 3rd.
It's fairly like a permanent temporary thing then.
Permanent temporary.
It's there for most of the year.
Yeah, it's there for quite a while yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can get down there and you're a Star Wars fan, highly recommend it. But yeah, what was that? What were we saying? Yeah, like films that had come out a few years back, or like old films. So like I could talk about It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, that's a Christmas film.
I've seen it. It's a good film.
Oh, it's a brilliant film. Oh, have you watched it?
I think I saw it over. Is it I'll get the moon for you and tie it down? Or am I thinking about something completely different?
I think that's the one.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
It's a wonderful.
Oh yeah, I have seen it. 'Cause I told my dad about it.
Yeah. That's a wonderful film. But that could be
It's
like
a Wonderful
Christmas.
Life.
Yeah, very true.
Terrible joke.
Very true. But yeah, I mean, and also we were thinking, you know, holiday related things. So like for Christmas, obviously, you know, Christmas classic. So It's a Wonderful Life.
And then horror films.
And Bad Santa. That's a Christmas classic. You know.
Yeah, horror films for Halloween, romantic films for
That was a
Valentine's
joke, by
Day.
the way. I don't actually think Bad Santa's a classic Christmas film.
No, I'm not even getting into it. Right, Harry, we're nearly 8 minutes into this podcast.
Yes, we are.
Let's
Okay.
talk about something.
One more thing. Before we get into the
Shove it down the viewers.
Yes. So we are on a new channel. Basically.
Yeah. Hi there.
We have moved on to a new channel. It's called Picture Avenue.
Obviously.
And the first episode will be on here as well. We're going to re-upload it. The reason being, Callum.
It's good from the podcast to be on a separate channel because the channel we were previously uploading on was my personal channel, and there's a lot of people who like will comment things that aren't the nicest in the world.
Yeah.
They're not very supportive. It hurts my feelings. No, it doesn't, but it's fine. So Harry said, I think we should move it, and I was like,
a fresh start.
A fresh start. I see your point. So welcome to Picture Avenue, new channel.
Yes. So, shall we crack on with...
Should we rock down to Picture Avenue?
Yeah, shall we rock down to Picture Avenue? Do you know what? Yeah, a mutual friend of ours. I think you know who I'm on about, Callum.
Okay.
A mutual friend of ours said to me that when I said let's rock down to Picture Avenue in the last podcast, it was really like forced. Really,
it did sound really forced.
Yeah. And I listened back and I was like, yeah.
That was really. It was just like silence. Then let's rock down to. Oh
let's rock down to. Yeah, but
now every time we say it, we're gonna have to like really force it just for a joke.
Yeah, and like that one time where I said something which was really cheesy and really hammy, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
In the first episode, that's never gonna leave me now.
No.
Never gonna leave me.
No, it's a running joke.
All right then. Well, let's talk about films now. Finally,
what's our spotlight?
Our spotlight film for this month is superhero real world drama. It feels really realistic.
Yep.
The final performance of Hugh Jackman in his iconic role as Wolverine. It is Logan.
Logan, what did you do?
Charles, the world is not the same as it was.
gone now. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real.
Got a little bit of Johnny Cash.
Bit of Johnny Cash. Love that song.
Yeah.
I literally, the moment I first heard that trailer, I Shazammed. There you go, Shazam, sponsor us. No, I Shazammed that song.
Shazam are great.
They are, and I Shazam that song, and I listen to it all the time. Not the happiest song in the world.
No, but it's a good song.
It's great.
Yeah, and I think that's how you can describe Logan. It's not the happiest of films,
But you
but it's a really enjoyable film.
you will smile.
You will smile.
You're not sitting through it like an antidepressants advert. It is
Yeah.
it is funny,
Yeah.
but it isn't like 2.5-star comedy blockbuster.
But that's the thing about Logan, is that, like I was saying before, it is like a real world drama in the sense that
Yeah.
it is really realistic, and it's realistic in the sense that in real life there is humour to be found in
Yeah.
real life, but also there is sadness to be found.
And tragedy.
Yes, precisely, and it's quite profound, really, that this film does that, because it's a representation of how, because obviously pain and death, sadness and all that stuff, it defines us as much as happiness and joy and all them wonderful moments. And there is a moment in this film. There are moments in this film which are representational of all that.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of this film. But yeah, the plot of Logan, Callum.
Plot of Logan. I'll move on to plot in just a quick second. I want to mention there's something brilliant about this film, and it's something that Patrick Stewart said on an interview with Conan, I believe, while I was binge watching it one night.
Yeah.
He said, "What makes this superhero film different? Let's not forget, it is a superhero film.
Yes.
What
It
makes
is a
it-
film about a superhero from a comic book.
Yeah.
So
What makes it different to all the others? When's the last time, and I can say this because it's in the trailer, when's the last time you watched a superhero film and they all sat round a table and ate a meal together?
Yeah.
Besides Avengers, the final,
I swear they did that in Age of Ultron. I'm just thinking now in my head.
they not as they did in Logan, though. You can tell
No.
Logan was a very...
They portrayed it very, because
Yeah.
in Age of Ultron they were talking about like how they were going to
Kill
stop all-
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
So-
this was literally just it was a family
it
dinner.
was a family dinner.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what's...
that's going back to the thing about those happy moments. Like that is an example of a happy moment.
Yeah.
And not to go into spoilers or anything, but Charles Xavier says in the film that was like the happiest moment he experienced in a long time.
Yeah.
Like the happiest night he had. So
It just shows you the contrast of the film that it goes through.
yeah,
From just god-awful, like, blood and everything.
yeah.
I'm going to mention that. Yeah, and just super happy moments with the whole family eating mashed potato.
Yeah. And there's this. I noticed this the second time watching it, that like the three main characters, I guess you could say. So Logan, Charles, and X-23 Laura. They're sort of kind of presented as the granddaughter, the dad, and the granddad. That's kind of like
That's what they're going for.
Yeah.
It's
And-
really adorable.
and and not obviously we don't want to go into spoilers, but like the things that happen, it hits you hard. It really does.
just take a box of tissues.
Yeah.
It's the advice that anyone will give you when you watch this film. Take a box of tissues or take something to dry your eyes, because
Yeah.
god damn.
Because even if you aren't one to
Cry.
cry, like spew tears out everywhere,
you will water up. at
Yeah, you'll
least.
water up a little bit. You'll get a bit soggy. So make sure you you kind of just get a tissue just to dab your eyes.
Yeah.
Just to,
Or use your sleeve.
use your sleeve, yeah. Unless you've got a really nice like shirt on that you
Yeah.
just bought. You don't.
Then
you
don't do
no,
that.
No. But
Your grandma won't be very happy.
maybe your best handkerchief. That.
Yes.
Yeah. So
The plot.
the plot of Logan.
Let me give you a rundown with the best spoiler-free way I can do it. I hope I can do it in one take. Right. So Logan is dying. It's fair to say.
Yeah, he's worse for wear.
He's worse for wear. He looks like shit.
Yeah.
He does. It opens up and he's like, oh my god, he's drinking a bottle at a funeral. It looks horrible. All the mutants are dead. There hasn't been a mutant in 20 years.
Yes.
He is the last remaining one that he knows of.
Yes. Apart from Charles
Apart
Xavier,
from Charles Xavier, obviously.
who has got a degenerative
Mind.
brain disease.
He's just got old. That's
yes.
it. He's just got old. He's got out.
and he's having seizures.
He's having seizures.
Which obviously, with him having
Seizures.
the most powerful mind in the world, it creates earthquakes around him. So Logan is basically taking care of him while working as a part-time limousine driver.
Which gives him the cool shirt and blazer look
Yes.
he likes to wear.
And then...
He comes into contact with Laura, played by Daphne Keane. Very talented, by the way.
Yes.
Very
How old is she?
She's 11.
She's only 11.
She's 11.
Wow.
Excuse my French, but holy shit.
I'm surprised she's not traumatised
Like,
working on this film.
oh my god.
All the blood and claw slashing.
It baffles me. It absolutely baffles me. And
No, but she's really good though.
she's really good and she can move. Like, that wasn't CGI. That was like her like bouncing up and down the place. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he comes into contact with Laura, and so Wolverine, Professor X, and Laura. Yeah, Wolverine, Professor X, and Laura have to now go on the run because Laura is being hunted by mercenaries, and now they're also after Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, and they're
after the actors, Hugh Jackman.
yeah, they're after Hugh Jackman. Forget about who they actually play. They're after the actors, but no. And then so now that they've got Laura, they're on the run because they're being hunted now, and they're trying to get Laura to a special place. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Due to spoilers.
We can't really go into any more detail, but you find out, how Laura came to be, and you find out what that special place is, and it all becomes clear. It all becomes clear.
Also, Wolverine and Professor X are getting help from Stephen Merchant, the actual actor. He gave up some of his valuable time. No.
Yes, he's playing a fictionalized version of himself.
Yeah, he is pretty much playing himself.
Yeah.
You watch it. I mean.
Yeah, pretty much.
He is
just him, but
same
a bit,
voice,
a bit
same mannerisms.
sun-bleached.
Yeah, he's playing an albino basically.
Yes.
Who can't go out in the sun, and I forget his name. His name is Caliban, and he just can't touch the sun, so he's been looking after Professor X while Hugh Jackman. I keep changing the names. It's so ridiculous. Everyone knows who I'm on about. Keeps looking after Professor X while Wolverine goes out and drives a car. Pretty much.
Yeah. And gets the dollar.
And gets the dollar.
Yeah.
And the pills for Professor X. He's old. Very old.
For his seizures.
So,
yes, so...
That's the plot in a very sort of tiptoey way to not spoil anything.
Yes. So I think the first thing we should talk about is just kind of overall thoughts. Callum,
yes.
What did you think of this film?
I thought it was a brilliant film. You saw it just before I did.
Yes.
You told me, man, Logan is amazing, smiley face.
Yeah.
It was really great. I was like, okay, you don't normally get this positive about films because sometimes you'll find something wrong with it.
Yeah.
And you went, they couldn't have done it better.
They really couldn't have. Literally, yeah. Usually when I walk out of a film, I'm like, yeah, it was great, but this thing didn't quite work, and this thing I didn't like.
But it's needed.
Yeah. Obviously, especially for us doing this podcast.
Yeah.
But honestly, I walked right out of Logan, and I was just thinking, like, they did such a superb job. There wasn't anything obvious to me at first that they could have done any better. Like, it really did fire on every cylinder, and I think that it's very rare when you build up lots of hype and anticipation for a film and you've got high expectations for it, that the film actually reaches them expectations.
I know,
That is precisely what Logan did. And
people hyped about it for so long, saying it's going to be great.
Yeah.
You walk in thinking, oh, it's going to be great. You walk out saying, that was so good. It was brilliant.
Yeah, you go in saying it's going to be great, and you walk out going, it was great.
It was great.
Literally. And it was funny, it was action-packed, very action-packed. We're going to talk about the action in a minute.
Yeah.
It was heartfelt. The performances were captivating. The story was captivating. It was just absolutely terrific. It
was amazing.
It's a fine piece of work.
I love the shots. I love the editing. I'm talking about technical stuff.
Yeah.
I did. I loved the shots that they did. There was so, because normally superhero films, CGI, not saying it's bad, but like then they just do rushed, moving shots everywhere.
Yes.
Logan, you had slow pan, you had just lovely, beautiful shots. That's all I'll get into it before I mess myself up.
And that coupled with the story,
yeah,
like how realistically it was portrayed, it created a really nice tone for the film, which I really liked. And like you can sort of see this film as separate from all the other films in that because they mention the X-Men comic books and things like that.
Yeah. But you don't have to know anything about the X-Men universe.
You don't. That's
to watch this film.
That's the thing. Like it could be just in its own bubble. I mean, you could see it as a continuation of all the films which have come before it, but you can also see it as a separate thing because it is more realistic. This is like Wolverine in the real world. So it's not the watered down 12A Wolverine that we've seen in all these other films. Like this is the real, bloody, violent, animalistic Wolverine. Like the one who's down, depressed, like this
all round great guy.
Yeah, the all round real like presentation, like the realest Wolverine could possibly get.
Yeah.
And so the way I see it, you can see it as its own thing. If you really want to, you can see it as a continuation. If you really want to, it's open to interpretation. I think that is.
If your mum wants to go see it, she can go. She doesn't have to know like jack about Marvel or anything. She doesn't need to know anything.
Yes,
because it's literally its own film.
Yeah, I mean, I went to see this with my parents. Both my mum and my dad. So, and they both enjoyed it. Like it is like on it. Like it's a great comic book film.
But it's also a great dramatic film.
It's also a great film. Like
it's a great film.
It's a fine piece of work. And do you know what? If this came out before the Oscars, Hugh Jackman
would have stolen it.
Yes, and just the whole thing, like Best Picture, give it Best Picture. Like
yeah,
that would have been nice, rather than the other film that won Best Picture. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Just before we move on from Logan.
Oh wait, we've still got a lot more to talk about though.
True, very true. Before we move on to our next subject of Logan, I'm going to run down this cast list real quick.
Oh yeah, so we're going to talk about the performances now.
Yes, okay. I'm going to give you, you're probably going to know who I'm on about, 'cause I'm going down in the order. I'm going to give you an actor, you tell me how well they did, and what you thought. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Oh, wonderful, as always.
I don't think there's even much more needed to be said, it's 10 out of 10.
He's great, he's absolutely fantastic. And he's clearly, I think he's really evolved the character. Like he's this is a very different Wolverine from the one he was portraying in the first X-Men film. And yeah, he's fantastic. Like enough said.
Patrick Stewart as best supporting actor.
He's also fantastic. He's yeah.
I think he brought the humour.
Yeah, he did. He really did. And I think he plays Charles very well as an old man, because he is 90 years old in this film, isn't he? And he's just got that attitude of like.
He's only 76 as well, so he's not far off.
Yeah. He's playing, and do you know what? It's a testament to how great an actor he is, and also, what's just sprung to mind, Ian McKellen. He's roughly the same age as Patrick Stewart. When he was playing Sherlock Holmes in Mr. Holmes, he had to play Sherlock Holmes as like a 90-year-old, so really old Sherlock Holmes, and he played it brilliantly. And like, see, here's the thing, like, it's probably like because they are older men, so maybe it is easier to kind of get into that mindset because they're not far off from that age, but it's still a testament to how great an actor Patrick Stewart is, and how great an actor Ian McKellen is as well with Mr. Holmes. But but he really does a great job of doing that whole like I don't give a crap, like as an old man attitude. When he just does it really well.
Yes.
By the way, Callum's eaten a Pop-Tart.
I am. I'm sorry.
Which is why, maybe why some of his sentences might be a little bit delayed.
Yeah. We're filming this in the morning, and I rolled out of bed, and then Harry came in. So
yeah, we're doing this quite early because we're on a tight
schedule today.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to skip a few of them because I don't know. Well, I'm not going to go through them all. Stephen Merchant, Mr. Albino,
Yes.
Caliban. What did you think of him? Because I think that it was not in a bad way, but I think it was just Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, but I think it worked. I think it worked.
I know. Yeah.
He fit in.
He looks like the character.
Definitely.
All they did was like shave him. That was it. And I'll go to the final one. Daphne Keane, Laura.
As we've said, she's great for a child actor. You don't get a lot of great child actors nowadays.
Star Wars.
Phantom Menace specifically.
Just gotta clear my throat.
Yeah. But no, she was great, and I think she could definitely come back as X-23, and we're not going to say how because that would probably spoil an aspect of the film. But
to be honest, anything can happen in superhero films. People get revived from stuff all the time anyway.
Yeah. Well,
so, if someone dies, if they die
in this film,
I'm not saying anyone
we're
dies.
not confirming anything, but
But if someone dies, people come back all the time anyway. The X-Men timeline is so messed up as it is.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
Right,
that's all I'll say on the cast because there's
one more guy I'd like to talk about.
Okay,
Richard E. Grant.
Oh yeah, I'll let you go off.
Yes. Now Richard E. Grant is in my opinion the worst actor ever, and I'll tell you why. Because he only seems to play one character, which is kind of the really villainous douchebag, just all round guy that you don't want to be around. He only seems to play that character, at least in the things that I've seen him in. He plays that character, quite well, but he's not a very versatile actor, at least in my opinion. I mean, you might think differently, but that's just the way I kind of see it. So as an actor, I don't think he's got a very broad range, but he seems like a really lovely bloke. That he has this show called Richard E. Grant's Hotel Secrets, which I've sort of flicking through the channels. I've just kind of watched a bit of it from time to time, and he's always got a huge smile on his face, and he's always really.
I mean, in the
happy.
picture we're looking at the minute, he looks like he's going to shoot someone.
Yeah, but that's just kind of
unfortunate timing.
Yeah, sort of his acting face is his kind of miserable kind of expressionless.
Yeah.
Kind of facial expression, but when he's in real life, doing interviews and taking Instagram,
he's very charismatic
and walking around hotels and just talking about hotel secrets. He's got this huge smile on his face. So he's the worst actor ever because he's not the best actor, but he seems like a really just friendly, nice, genuine man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I digress. He was good in this film because, like I say, he plays that douchebag villain very well.
Very well.
So he fit in really well as well. And when I heard that Richard E. Grant and Stephen Merchant were going to be in this film,
it made you question what.
Yeah, it was a bit unusual. It's not necessarily something you would have expected, but no, they fit in really well.
I mean, I love Stephen Merchant anyway. Ever since I've played Portal 2, which some of you may or may not have played, he played Wheatley, the core, and oh my god, I fell in love with that game straight away. His voice is so amazing. I love it.
He has got
he's so great.
Sick voice. So yeah.
What else is there to say in Logan?
Well, the violence. That's a new thing.
Callum disclaimer of the month. If not as bad as Hacksaw Ridge, I'm still recovering from that. The night traumas still following me.
I wasn't with you. We've not watched this together.
We didn't actually watch this together. We've
I don't
been very
know
busy.
how you responded to it. So this is news to me.
I found it alright. I didn't get up and leave like I did last time. But I did find it a bit unsettling. There was times where I sort of put my hands together and I clenched them.
Yeah.
Sort of just go that's a bit of brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of it was a bit.
It was a bit
gruesome,
but it was needed. It is so needed, and that's why I stayed because this is what it would be.
Yeah.
This is Yeah.
The Wolverine.
It's Wolverine in real life, and that's
That
what it
wasn't a
is.
fart, by the way. That was just my
chair creaks a
Yes.
lot. Yeah, I'm sorry.
If the audio picked that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, no, you just got us talking about farts. But yeah, it was very needed, the blood and gore, but it is a bit unsettling if you're very weak stomached. But grit your teeth, sit through it.
It's very necessary gore, though.
It's very necessary.
And it's...
You forget about it. It isn't like, you know, it is obvious, but there's so much going on in the shots that you don't focus on it that much.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, I'm like within the film, it makes a lot of sense, and within the film, like context taken into account and everything, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because it's because it shows just how kind of how badass, I guess you could say, Wolverine is, and also it adds that realistic representation and everything like that. So the violence, it worked really well.
Yeah.
Like you say, bloody and horrible, but it was necessary.
Very necessary.
So yeah.
What else is there?
Well, I guess. I don't know about you, but when I watched this for the first time, I was like, there was a particular section in the middle where there was like 10 minutes of it where I was literally on the edge of my seat, going like, "What the hell is happening?" Like,
is this just? Oh, that bit.
Yeah,
we just had to cut, so I understood.
Yeah, I just had to explain to Callum what bit I was on about.
I was about to say, that scene, and then it would have spoiled everything.
It would have spoiled it real bad. I
know what you mean now. Oh.
Yes. So, and this film makes you feel things. It makes you feel on edge.
It made me feel things I never thought I'd feel before, mate. Like,
yeah.
I felt a lot of things in my life, but I sat in that cinema thinking, oh my god.
Yes.
What did I just watch? And everyone in the cinema had that feeling. I was turning around to people at the end.
It's intense, isn't it?
It's so intense.
And I was expecting Logan to be emotional, but I was not expecting it to be that gripping. As in, like, I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it to be so, like, high intensity the way it was. And we're not going to talk about it anymore, I don't think.
I want to mention one thing, and we might cut it.
Okay.
But there's no end credit scene.
There isn't, no, unfortunately. Right. In selected cinemas, you can get the Deadpool 2 trailer, which is very good, by the way. It's a very funny.
I haven't seen the trailer. I refuse to watch. You've
not watched it?
No, because I know I'm going to see the film. I refuse to watch any trailer.
Oh, it's not so much a trailer. It's more just like a little skit, like that.
I'll watch.
It's not really connected to the film. Like it's just kind of. Well, I don't know if
it's just Deadpool
we don't
saying,
know.
"Yo, it's a film. Watch it."
Yeah, we don't really know if it's connected to the film because obviously none of us have seen the film yet. But it just looks like a little skit which just kind of reminds you that Deadpool 2 is coming. But yeah, but no, in selected cinemas, I think it's just in showcase cinemas. You can get the Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2.
Yeah, but apart from that, no
end
extra
credit.
scene.
And it's because it's the last time Hugh Jackman's playing Wolverine.
Yes,
he's been doing it for so many years now. I forget how many years it's been. I think
it's 17.
I was going to say 17, but I thought I was wrong.
And he's played the part brilliantly.
It's been a true pleasure to watch him over the years.
Very, very much so. And especially for us, I feel like we've kind of grown up with these X-Men films and Hugh Jackman playing the role, and now he's leaving.
Yeah,
it's like
17 years, right?
17.
That's my whole life. I'm 17, and
yes.
Dear God.
Mad.
No one. I don't think someone could replace him. In honesty, I'm sure they'll get someone who's great and they do a great job. But I don't see. Obviously, I can't tell because they might get someone even better. But
he will certainly be very hard to live up to.
Very hard,
definitely.
Right, let's move on from Logan.
In conclusion.
Yes. Of course. I forgot about this. I forgot how their own podcast works, but yes.
So, do you want to go first with this?
What do I give it out of?
Yeah, just sum it up.
Sum it up. It is a film you can watch with your niece, with your aunt, with any member of your family.
If they're over 15.
Obviously. And
in the UK. In America, I think it's
17. Because it's an R-rated film.
Yeah.
No idea about whoever lives anywhere else, but I doubt they even watch this. But you can watch it with anyone. You don't have to have any knowledge on Marvel. Recommended that you do because you get some jokes, but just watch it. It's a great film. I don't think it could be done any better. Literally a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Didn't find a single issue with it.
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, it was.
I was going to say, if you didn't, I'd punch you off the chair.
It was. Yeah, just kick me out of your house right now.
So what you doing?
It was. It's a masterful piece of work. It's brilliantly done. Everyone involved, actors like the director, director and writer. I think James Mangold wrote and directed this film. Marketing, everything. Job well done.
Job well done.
10 out of 10. Yes, let's clap.
Well
let's give it a round.
Let's be
of
those
applause.
people who clap. Yeah.
Yeah. Clapping in the cinema. Like,
We'll discuss that one day.
we will discuss that one day.
Coming soon.
Yeah. We were thinking about doing an episode about
Just
cinema.
pet peeves about cinema, because there's so many different things that happen in that room.
Yeah,
That guy who farts all the time.
that guy
my Uncle
who's
Jerry.
always on his phone. Even though he's paid £7 to watch a film, he's still on his phone.
Yeah.
You could do that for free in your own house later on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it anyway. Right, so we've talked for nearly about half an hour now about Logan.
We have.
So sorry if you didn't want to hear about Logan, too bad. Right, next film.
But who doesn't want to hear about Logan?
Exactly. What is the next one we're moving on to?
The next film is The Great Wall.
Yes, because
Yes.
that came out before Logan, but Logan's our spotlight.
Yes.
So we're now doing this in order.
Yes, so we're doing the films that we've seen together and then the films we've seen separately, which was only the one this month. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, although I have many feelings about this film and I can go on about it for ages, I'm going to sum it up as simply as possible. I did not like this film. It looked alright. I thought, it'll be okay. Let's go watch it. I was greeted with what looked like a bag of Skittles on top of the Great Wall of China. And something that I didn't quite keep in mind, though, was that the story was a myth or it was a legend, something like that, about the Great Wall of China. I didn't keep that in mind. So during the film, I was like, well, this is ridiculous. This would never happen. And then at the end, we were talking, I was like, wait, it was meant to be a fake story, wasn't it? Of course.
It even said at the start of the film, like there was text at the start of the film explaining the whole myth element in it.
And I just didn't really care about that. I was like, this is terrible. And then halfway through, I was like, wait, it's meant to be a myth. Oh, it's all right then.
Does that change your perspective?
It changes it a bit because I'm like, okay, then the realistic factor I don't have to think about anymore. But I still didn't like it. It just, everyone seemed the same. The story was a bit weird. The story is simply, hi, I'm Matt Damon with my mate. Everyone's dead. To the Great Wall of China we go. Oh, they're going to try and kill us. We're in captivity. Let's go kill some things that look really messed up.
Yeah.
And will we escape or not? Who knows? That is the plot in probably minor spoiler form.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because you've seen this film by now. It's out of cinemas anyway.
Yeah, it
So
is.
I'm happy talking about spoilers with this, but
So that's Callum's opinion. We actually have a difference of opinion on this one.
ahead.
I liked this film. Not gonna lie. I mean, granted, it's not a classic. It's not It's a Wonderful Life. It's not a film that I'm gonna watch countless times, like Avengers Assemble or anything like that. Like, for what it is, I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, I thought that the characters were fun. Matt Damon's character, who I can't remember the name of, and Pedro Pascal's character, who I can't remember the name of. He was in Game of Thrones. He was Oberyn in Game of Thrones, who was such a great character, who I'm not going to talk about because it might spoil Game of Thrones, but yeah, he was a great character, and it was really nice to see him in this film. And I thought the acting, it was anything extraordinary, but it was acceptable. It was exceptional. I don't know what I'm saying.
a funny thing that someone asked me, because I said I've seen the film and I didn't like it, and then they said, why is Matt Damon trying to be Asian? And because obviously they just saw the trailer and that was it, and they had no idea anything about the film, and I was like, no, it's not like that, and I tried to explain, they lost interest straight away. I was like, they simply thought that Matt Damon just ponytailed the ear.
See, this
walked through trying to be Asian.
This shows that trailers can be deceiving.
Oh, it was so deceiving, the trailer. Oh my god! I haven't even seen the trailer since mid-February, but still, it was.
I don't think I ever watched the trailer. I just saw. I saw the poster, and I was like, and then I heard that it was about Monsters and the Great Wall of China, and I was just like, oh, this
I
would
saw
be a
the
bit of
5
fun.
seconds before the skip ad button comes up. It was just Matt Damon walking across the wall with a ponytail and a bow and arrow, and I was like, sold! I'm going to go see it. And then I was
Yeah.
like, no.
It's like, hey, that guy from The Martian.
Hey.
This will be a good film.
No.
Well, do you know what? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
it
it sounded like it was going to be fun, and it was fun. It was, it was a fun film to watch. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it.
I'm just being grumpy about it. That's what I
Yeah,
am.
well, I can see where you're coming from, definitely. But I personally just thought that for what it was, for 2 hours at the cinema, it was a fun experience, and the visual effects were great. I imagine this would have been great in IMAX, in 3D. And some of the battle sequences, like when they were trying to sort of shoo the monsters away from the wall. Like, I was really impressed by some of them visuals. Like they
were really
they
good.
look really good. I was like looking at them open mouth, like this is really impressive. So in fact, do you know what? Yeah, now that I think about that, I think I actually would watch this film again. I'd watch it for that because that was really enjoyable.
You're doing it alone, 'cause no way in hell I'm joining you in that. One thing I do want to mention, looking at this cast list,
Yes.
I think this is the first film I've seen made in Hollywood that white people aren't the majority in the cast.
Yeah, like there's literally only
3.
Matt Damon, Willem Dafoe, and
Pedro.
Pedro. Yeah, but he's like, I think he's like quarter cast. I think.
Still, like,
Yeah.
you see that's like, look, everyone else, I'm not getting into all the technicals of China, Japanese, everyone's Asian.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's pretty much Asian.
And that's great.
That's great, yeah, I well done, but it was kind of needed for the film.
Yeah.
Great Wall
for
of China.
context. Yeah.
Which is why everyone thought Matt Damon was trying to be Asian, which I thought was just hilarious when someone told me that.
Well, the Great Wall, like it was a good structured story. It was a bit ridiculous, but it was a lot of fun.
That's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
of course it was.
I just didn't realise
But
that.
that's fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun. It's
It
it's,
does look like the Power Rangers are back, though. When you watch this film, it looks ridiculous. The visuals, but the visuals are good. Just the people,
Yeah.
they just look a bit off, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's one shot at the end with Matt
Someone
Damon.
look at this cast. Someone clearly just got the copy and paste tool in like Photoshop and just like,
kind of just
like,
sort of,
went
just
to
kind
town.
of inserted Matt Damon
Yeah.
and just
and he got like those block colours that you find in paint, and just that was it. Just very
So we got
yeah.
So we got a difference.
I don't know what I was on about there, but
So we got a difference of opinion on that one. I liked it. You thought it was
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
5. I'd probably give it a 7,
Yeah.
or maybe even an 8. 7 or an 8.
Mm.
Not decided, but yeah. Okay, so if you watch the Oscars, or if you just kept up to date with the news,
I don't know how you can not hear about it.
you would be aware that there was a major screw up at the Oscars ceremony this year, which was that for the Best Picture, whoever was announcing the winner of the award, they said it went to La La Land, but then, as it turns out, when all the cast and crew from La La Land came on stage, they realised that it was actually Moonlight that won the Best Picture. So as a result,
Easy mistake to make. I mean, La La Land and Moonlight, very similar looking names.
they sound so similar.
I mean, with dyslexia, every day I look at La La Land like, you're right, Moonlight, and I just happily walk about my day.
And also the films are so similar, like so similar.
La La Land, colourful, vibrant film about music and jazz. Moonlight, I can't talk about the plot without laughing.
Moonlight. Okay, so as a result of Moonlight winning Best Picture at the Oscars,
Right.
it got an extended release at cinema.
Yeah, so we went to go see
We
it.
went to go and see it.
You wanted to go see
I
it.
wanted to see it out of intrigue.
I said no, like, instantly. It was on unlimited screening. You were like, let's go see it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
So we didn't see it. It came out to extend. You were like, let's go see it. I was like, fine, let's go see it.
Yeah.
I'm
And I think that was just because of the Oscars.
Yeah,
They
it's
gave it a
because
bit
of the
more
Oscars, yeah.
intrigue. Yeah.
To make it very simple here, I am very happy that I said no the first time, and I'm very happy that I didn't want to go see it when we saw it. I'm disappointed in Harry for thinking this would have been a good film. Now, before you all type your rage comments and scream at us,
In case it's not obvious, we don't like Moonlight. Just saying.
no, I'm not It's not a race thing. It's not a homophobic
Definitely not.
thing.
Definitely not.
It's
Definitely.
nothing about it. It's just I found
It's
the film.
not a good film.
I found it so boring. Now, if you're,
What was the first thing you said to me when we were walking out out of the cinema?
well, what's the first thing I said to you? I forgot.
You were like saying, so Moonlight won the award for best picture. How about the award for most boring film of the year?
It was just so. I dropped off a good 5 times, like not fully asleep, but I just went like eyes shut, head bobbing, and I was like, oh, okay, no, you're still on drugs. Okay, back down I go. It was the same stuff. Right, basically, it's 3 lives, the same life, but as he was a
3 stages of his life.
Yeah, 3 decades. Young kid, teenager, adult.
And each stage of his life has a name attached to it. So the kid is called Small. The teenager is called Chiron, because that's the main character's name, and the adult is called Black. And yeah, and he goes through a lot of bad stuff in his life. He gets bullied for being gay, and his mother is a drug addict, very bad drug addict.
Yeah, it's not even subtle in the film. It's very obvious.
Very, yeah, and like she is badly addicted.
Yeah, and it's looking at those points there, you will have to ask yourself, why isn't this a good film? What are you two on about? What the hell? Yes, okay, great. Yeah, I get it. Very good points. Very dramatic, and what's the word I'm looking for? Very relevant. That's it.
Definitely,
in today's day and age.
And it is, and it's good to address those things. And we want to stress that, we don't dislike the film because of any of that.
No.
Like, we respect the fact that it addresses homophobia
and racism and
yeah,
drugs.
and we also respect the fact that there isn't one white actor in this film.
Not
like,
a single
literally
one.
everyone in this film is black, and that's written. That's a good thing. It's great that there's an all black cast. That is rare, and we're all about equality. We're not bigots. We are all about all that stuff. So we want to stress it is not anything about racism. It's not anything about homophobia. It is just because the film itself was boring as hell.
It was so boring. When you watch it, this is a good thing that I always like to explain to people. When you watch a film and someone gets out a car and they walk to a shop.
Yes.
You know how they cut from the moment they close the door to the moment they walk through the shop door. They cut from the door shutting to walking through the shop.
Yes.
Moonlight didn't do that.
Yeah.
They showed the 20 seconds it takes to walk from the car to the shop.
And I'm just sat there thinking, God, how captivating! Just the way they walk from their car into that
You
restaurant.
can see the characterization in every step they make. Just
great.
so goddamn boring. Oh my god!
And it is a long film. It felt like 5 hours.
It did.
And you could have cut out all that baggage.
It could have been a good 40-minute film if you cut half of it.
Yeah, a good short film.
A good short film.
Yeah. Or maybe just even 90 minutes. It was flipping 2 hours of
walking.
What?
And
but obviously people having conversation with each other.
But it was just so boring. It was realistic. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like real life, which is boring, and you go to the cinema to watch heightened real life or fake reality. You watch it to take yourself away from real life, not to watch someone else's life.
And we know that we just talked about how Logan was good because of that realism, but obviously it was still steeped in fiction.
It had a guy with metal claws.
Yeah. And it was paced well.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any unnecessary. Every shot was necessary. Every single part of that film was necessary. Moonlight, a lot of it wasn't necessarily
it's
necessary.
The same with La La Land. There were some things in there just for plot. No, that weren't just for plot.
Yeah.
That was all right. It was entertaining. Moonlight, it was literally a guy walking on a beach.
Yeah. Now, right. So, and here's another thing: the relationship between the main character and his love interest, Kevin, I think his name is, that wasn't very well developed.
They certainly reached a climax point in their relationship, but if you've seen the film, you know what I'm on about. But
yeah,
it seemed like it went from meeting the person and shaking hands with them to shaking hands in a different way.
And obviously, they knew each other when they were kids. Yeah. But you didn't the time that they used to shoot people
Walking from car to shop.
walking from car to shop, like
They could
have used that to develop the relationship a bit more,
but they didn't.
and it wasn't very well developed. I mean, fair enough, it might have been a well developed, relationship, but we didn't see that on screen. So that's why it wasn't very compelling. Which is why when towards the end of the film, not going into spoilers, it became like the centerpiece of the film, the relationship between these two characters.
Yeah.
It wasn't compelling to watch. I personally.
I didn't feel that need saying, we
weren't
there.
we weren't bothered about what was going to happen because
We didn't care.
we didn't care, and that's because the film didn't
Make it
devote
obvious.
enough screen time to develop into that relationship.
Also, the ending.
The ending,
Very anticlimactic.
yeah,
Literally. It just ends.
yeah,
It is like watching a scene, finding the midpoint in it, and stopping it.
yeah,
It is just ridiculous. We both sort of sat there for a couple of minutes and went, is that the end?
yeah.
It's like, really?
And sometimes,
So artistic though. Oh.
yeah, but sometimes it can work because Nocturnal Animals, which I thought was a brilliant film, that had an abrupt ending, and that worked because it was quite an enigmatic film. Really, you really had to think about how like what everything meant in that film, all the symbolism and everything like that, and that was. That worked, and because it was interesting, because in Nocturnal Animals there was a lot of time devoted to the subjects which they were addressing, and it knew where its focus lied.
Yeah.
Moonlight, it didn't really have.
It had
aside
a point.
from the general
Drugs and
focus
homophobia.
on drugs and homophobia.
And racism.
Yeah, it was literally not so much racism actually. But yeah, it didn't know so much where its focus lied, and because of that, the film wasn't it just wasn't engaging.
No. We've made it obvious. We found it boring, but it won the Oscar for Best Picture.
And that's baffling because I think La La Land
Or Lion.
or Lion.
We
or
mentioned this
Hacksaw
all
Ridge,
in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Stuff that we wanted to win.
they would have been better choices. They were better films. And there are people that love Moonlight, and more props to you. If you like it, that is great. More
Good for you,
more
bud.
power to you. But we just found it boring. It just
Boring.
it wasn't.
That's it. Let's just leave it there, really.
Let's just leave it there.
Because
I mean, it might have had something to do with the whole, because there was the whole Oscars so white thing last year, with every nomination being white. And there was no black person nominated, and Chris Rock, who was presenting the Oscars, his one joke throughout the whole ceremony was that there was no black people nominated, and he was just taking the mick out of that all the way throughout it.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that this might be a kind of a product of that. I'm not entirely sure. Well, no, the film's not a product of that, but the film winning Best Picture.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but
it's a very touchy subject when you really look at it.
of course, and we don't want to say that's the reason because
It
for
might
all we
offend
know,
someone, and it
for
might
all
be
we
wrong.
know, the Academy might have looked at this film and thought, yeah, this film is deserving of Best Picture, regardless of the fact that every actor in it was black.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What would you give it out of 10?
well, I think I'd probably give it a 4 because
gonna give it a 4.
despite the fact that it was boring and the relationships between the characters weren't very well developed, I still feel as though there were some shots which did look very nice. The use of music worked well at certain points, and parts of it were a bit. They were shot in interesting ways. Parts of it were presented in unusual ways which you wouldn't have necessarily expected in a conventional film. But aside from that, it's just a dull watch.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 4, maybe a 3. The shots were alright, the editing was intentional to make it long and dramatic, but
Yeah.
In my eyes of a 17-year-old boy, it was boring. But you never know, someone might find it really interesting.
But if you like Moonlight, then fair enough. We are all about respecting other people's opinions. If you don't share the same opinion as us, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah.
Now, this is the only other film that I've seen this month, because all the films we've talked about, besides Logan, are films that came out last month. that we've already seen together.
Yes.
We haven't actually seen Logan or this film together because we've just been so busy
Yes.
by doing other things.
And this film is...
Kong, Skull Island, I believe
Yes.
it's called. I always have a trouble remembering what it's actually called.
Yes, it's like you think it's I don't know
King
Kong
Kong,
King
King
Kong,
Kong.
the Skull King Kong,
It's very weird.
Kong Skull. Yeah.
Everyone just calls it the King Kong.
Kong
film.
Island.
Oh, and I've already noticed something. The girl from the Great Wall is in this one as well.
She is, yes.
I didn't know that. I just recognised the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Right. Where should we? We didn't see this together,
We did not.
so we're both sort of yet to hear out both opinions.
Yeah.
We've discussed it a little bit, but we said
No,
we'll
we've
save
not
it
really
for
gone into
today.
any real depth.
From what I'm aware of, we both have different feelings on the film.
Well, I like the film.
I really like the film.
You really like the
I
film.
really like the film.
I thought it was a great film.
I want to watch it a few more times, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That you liked it that much?
Yeah.
I liked the film. I thought it was like The Great Wall. It was a lot of fun. I thought that all the monsters and everything like that were really cool. There was a lot of variety in there. It was very creative, quite grim at certain points.
Definitely.
When it was grim, it worked well. When it was funny, it worked well. And when it was dramatic as well, surprisingly, that worked really well as well. The one gripe I have is that I think it's a bit... I don't know, I think it's a bit generic.
I know. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think it's a tiny bit predictable, just a tiny bit.
It is a bit. Like, it's that thing in horror films where you say, don't go in that room, you know the noises in there.
Yeah.
It's that thing, like, don't go into the big island, oh, there's something there, don't keep trying to kill it,
Yeah.
what you doing? You want to scream at them, but here's the thing. It's back in when the Vietnam War was going on. How people back then, the Americans, they were oblivious as hell.
Yeah.
They were ignorant, they were arrogant, that's the word, arrogant, and they were naive. They just they tried to do the Vietnam War and everything, and that's literally what it is.
Oh, do you know what? Now you point that out, that actually...
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense.
See, I didn't watch this with Harry, but I watched this with my brother, and I was talking to him about the podcast, saying I got to get a review for this, and he told me his opinion on it, and he made some good points by saying, you know, 'cause I said that you said, this is so confusing now, I said that you said to him that it was a bit...
Or rather, you said to him that I said to you.
Yes. Basically, I just said that Harry said it was all a bit sort of generic. You know, the characters were all a bit and my brother went, well, think about it. It was in literally the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
How stupid were they to do that in the first place?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, that's a good point. It's like, yeah, they went into an island, found King Kong, and they were like, huh, let's try and kill him.
Yeah.
What? It's like... And I just spat everywhere. Right, so all that, I kind of spat. No, we're not cutting it. Screw it. I'm leaving it in.
Screw it and do it.
Screw it and do it, mate. Screw it. I just spat while talking about the
Just
film.
spat everywhere.
My lips are so dry I didn't even feel the spit come out. Damn it. I didn't realise what Harry was laughing about until I looked down. I was like, oh, spit. Right. Well, my point was, Samuel L. Jackson leads the ignorance train.
Yes, not going into too much detail, obviously.
No, but he plays it well. He's basically he's an army general who doesn't want to leave the war. He's war crazed, very messed up in the head, and he plays it well. If the film had more time, they could have built on it a lot more, but they built on it enough for the audience to see, and you can just tell that is what's going on. Basically, he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill him because the war's over, so got nothing else to do. I'm crazy.
And Tom Hiddleston's just like, you're in Khan's territory. You need to go away. Tom Hiddleston in this film, like
It is Tom Hiddleston, but amplified. It's like me.
yeah, he's playing. Like, I mean, imagine Tom Hiddleston's really cool already, but like he's playing a cool, definitely a cool version of himself.
Kind of cocky.
Kind of cocky, yeah.
Because he knows he's good at what he's doing.
Yeah, but
That's his character.
yeah, but he's good. Like
He's good.
He fits well, and so does Brie Larson, who I think her character's.
It's not so much a love interest between them, but there's certainly a rubbing shoulders effect.
Yeah.
They're just nice. They're smiley with each other.
Yeah.
And it's not forced.
Yeah, and she's like a photographer, and that's sort of the only compelling thing about her.
Yeah.
And then I'm not saying that any of these characters are bad per se, because like I mean I love John Goodman, I love John C. Reilly, Toby Kebbell, who we know from a certain film which we both don't like.
What film?
Fantastic Four.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's him. Oh,
Yes.
because you mentioned it, I was like, I don't know who, I can't remember him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
looking at it, oh wow, yeah.
Basically, Toby Kebbell, for those of you who don't know, played Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four 2015.
Which I guarantee you we will do a one-off episode reviewing that film.
We will do.
It'll
'Cause
probably be about
the
half
first-
an hour long.
That is the first film we saw in cinemas together.
Was it? Yeah, it was. It was. Oh my god.
It was, and we walked out of it.
You poor
going,
soul, because that was your
what
first like.
the hell was that?
It was. I'm not right. Anyway,
yeah.
we could go on ages about all the characters, but there's so many of them because they were just shipped a bunch of Vietnam soldiers in. We'll talk about Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, and John C. Reilly, because they're the main five. You could say
They weren't bad. They were all great.
Yeah.
You know, like
they were I can't say the word caricatures.
caricatures.
That's the one. I can't say that word.
Except for maybe Sam Jackson, because I imagine Sam Jackson's not that much of a douchebag in real life.
No, but not
Like-
caricatures of themselves, but of the roles he had to play. John C. Reilly is playing the "I've been here for too long" role. I'm stranded. John Goodman's playing the crazy explorer. Samuel L. Jackson's playing the insane war dude. Brie Larson is just the traditional "I'm a photographer."
Yeah,
And
but she's I think she's she's a strong character.
oh yeah, very yeah.
strong female character.
Tom Hiddleston is Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
he's great.
It-
And
it
there's
fits the
one
role,
moment.
yeah.
What's that really badass moment where he's like,
Running through it, it's a bit of a concept art that the designers drew up a couple of years before they started shooting,
Yeah.
and he created it pretty much frame by frame, and it was perfect.
yeah, that was a really awesome moment. Like I was saying to Callum the other day that this is a bit morbid, but if Tom Hiddleston were to die, and then and there was like a montage of all of his best movie moments, like
That would be it.
you'd throw Loki in there, you'd throw. I can't think of any other Tom Hiddleston films. And you'd throw this bit from Kong.
Sorry,
Skull
Tom.
Island.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
We
You
just-
throw the Night Manager. You throw
Yeah.
that BBC series he did.
I don't even know that, but anyway, I have a couple of nitpicking things to do.
Okay.
This is mainly for my brother as well, because he spots things better than I do. He's grumpy, but Brie Larson. Now, I'm going to try and talk about this in the least spoiler way possible. There's obviously a moment where they fight some monster on that island. You'll realise what I'm on about in a minute.
Oh yes.
A really big monster.
Yes.
King Kong is fighting this big monster. Brie Larson manages to climb up on a massive hill and has the best shot you will ever see in your life. One shot, stares it down, barrel of the gun, shoots, hits it right in the eye.
Yeah.
Very unrealistic, but you know what?
You see-
I let it slide because it was such an action
I
moment.
don't think it's too out of place in a film which is so like ridiculous. Not in a bad way, ridiculous
yeah.
in a good way. Because, like I say, I love I like with the Great Wall. I like how much fun you can have from that.
Yeah, but it was literally like she was about over 100 feet away and she did not miss.
Yeah.
And it was a bit okay, and there was moments where like the editing would be a bit weird because they'll like start one place and it'll be sun shining really bright,
Yeah.
and Kong would have to run really far away, and then Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson would be at that same place in the next scene,
Yeah.
but it'll be pitch black, but they'll be there really quickly, and it'd be really weird the way it got edited there. But
I didn't notice that so much.
I spotted it, my brother spotted it, and we were just sort of like,
I thought it was well directed though.
Very
there
well
were a lot of
directed,
there was some really good shots. Like I say, the one with Tom Hiddleston, and also Tom Hiddleston rather. I said Tom Hiddleston just then, and also that one shot. I believe it's in the trailer where Kong. I can't talk today.
fine.
When Kong sort of rises up and then all the helicopters are coming towards him like that. That's a
badass shot.
a good shot.
Most of it is CGI, like, but
But it works. Though.
it works. Yeah,
It works.
I doubt they got some guy called Jerry who's 6'3" to stand in a Kong outfit while they filmed him.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
It
If
was-
that's actually how they did it. But
But no, there was a lot of edge of your seat moments. It was like, oh, how are they going to get out of this one?
they had humour. They had it was a film that made you scared, and
yeah.
it kind of relied on jump scares.
It did actually, yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was actually quite jumpy.
I
yeah.
jumped a lot, and because I watched it in 3D, and I was like taking my glasses off every now and then just to rub my eyes, and to kind of stop myself from being terrified. Because I would sit there, and then like some kind of weird spider thing just there, and I'm freaking out because it's like, inches away from my face, and I'm like screaming my head off in the cinema. But like it will jump scare you, but they're kind of needed because on that
Yeah.
island things are so silent, and then
Yeah.
the next thing you
And
know,
then-
some colossal squid is erupting from the ground, and it's like, okay, great.
It is all great though.
Yeah.
Like, it all fits well together and it makes it a
does.
really fun experience. And I went to see this with a few mates from college, and we had a great time. You know, it was a fun time
It was fun.
at the
It
pictures.
was a good time.
Yes.
All round film.
Yes.
That's all I can say about it really.
All right.
Yeah. I'd give it about an 8.
I think I'd give it about an 8 as well.
Yeah.
Like literally, any problems with it, I feel like that it would be.
Yeah.
It's a nitpicky thing to say that it was a bit generic, but
Mm.
it works well. It's still these kind of films, they aren't out of place
No.
in the cinema today. Like they are good films to go and pay money to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm not sure about the whole making a cinematic universe from it though, because they are making a cinematic universe from this film.
Oh,
and
no.
there was a
Okay.
post-credit scene which
Was it? I didn't even watch it.
there was, yeah, and I didn't stay to watch it. Me and my mates didn't stay to watch it, but yeah, they're going to do a second Godzilla film in 2019, I think, and then Godzilla vs Kong in 2020.
To be honest, I think that's be quite awesome. People have.
Yeah.
It sounds like people are making it like, oh, it's terrible trying to do a Marvel cinematic.
It's
I-
not. It's not. I mean, it's not necessarily something that people have asked for, but it's not something that we'd go, oh, we don't want that.
Yeah, but
Like-
think about it. You don't. No one. So not everyone asks for things.
Yeah.
And then they love it anyway, even if they didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
Like, just let them do it. If it's bad, complain. If it's not, shut up, because
Yeah, I mean-
it could be awesome.
And you know what? If these next couple of films that they're going to do in this sort of monster cinematic universe they've got going on, if they are as good as Kong Skull Island or better, I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll go and watch them, and I'll most likely enjoy them.
Yeah. Right. Now, this is normally the moment where I shut up and I let Harry ramble on for the next 20 minutes, because I
Yes.
have not seen this film yet. It is a horror film, as you could say.
Yes, horror, social thriller.
There's a lot of things you can call it. I'm
Yeah.
calling it a horror film because I'm scared. But I normally don't watch horror films, but this one, I love the director. He's great, Jordan Peele.
One half of
Key and Peele.
Yeah.
I've loved Key and Peele for a while, and then Jordan kind of fell off the face of the earth for a little bit, and
Yeah.
I realised, oh, he's making a film, that makes sense. It's really good, so I've heard, and I want to watch it, so I'm going to sit through it. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, so you'll talk about it in the next episode.
In the next episode.
Yes.
Right, take it away, Harry.
Get Out is a, as we said, horror, the social thriller, comedy, whatever you want to call it. And basically it's about a black boyfriend going to his white girlfriend's parents' house. And he's a bit worried about how, they're going to take the fact that he's black, because they didn't know beforehand. When he goes to their house, things on the surface seem, okay. Like, they seem polite. No obvious problems at first. As he's there for a little while, you start to get a sense that they are, not outright racist, but they're kind of subtly racist. Like, it's sort of passive racism.
Yeah.
And you can just get a sense of something that there's a sense of tension there, definitely.
Yeah.
And then he starts to notice things that are weird, like they have black servants working around the house, doing like the cleaning and the gardening and all that kind of stuff. And then as the film goes on, not to go into spoilers, that he starts to see some very sinister things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's all very unsettling. And then he realises, as the film goes on, that he needs to get out of that place. And that's why
Yeah.
it's called Get Out, because he needs to get out of that
Like every
environment.
every advert's just him crying in a chair, and it goes,
Yeah.
it like goes a bit static and goes, "Get out," and that's it.
And here's the thing, like
Very
the
weird.
trailer looks unsettling, and it is an unsettling film. It's
Oh, I can't wait to watch it. Just, ooh.
there are a lot of parts of it which definitely make you feel uncomfortable, and a lot of people have been saying, "Oh well, you can't relate to this if you're white. You can only relate to it if you're black." And you know, obviously, I mean, I can't speak for any individual of colour, but I imagine, you know, there would be a sense of scare factor that you could get, you know, like from relating
Yeah.
to that. But I think from the perspective of a white person, that if you just put yourself in the main character's shoes, that's enough to hook you into the story. That's enough to invest you. That's enough to make you scared. And I was scared by watching this film. Like there were parts of it that were really, really scary, and and I was thinking, gosh, what would I do? And I'm not even black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's not so much a colour thing. It's more of a human thing.
yeah.
Like, just stop seeing the colour for a minute. Like, that's a human. I don't know what
Yeah,
happens, obviously, so I might be talking bollocks.
Yeah.
But it sounds like horrible things are happening, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, what if that was me?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely
Yeah.
feel like that, and it's got nothing to do with what race you are. So don't feel like you're going to be like excluded watching this film. You're definitely not, regardless of what race you are. You
Yeah.
will get scared, and you will also find it funny, because this film is funny in places. There
It
is
is
a lot of
directed
humour.
by a comedian
Yeah, and he
and written by a
he
comedian.
puts the humour in very well. Like, there are parts of it that you're not sure that you should laugh at, because the humour comes at odd moments. And I suppose you could class that as a criticism, but I feel that the mix of horror and comedy just adds to the whole, like, uncomfortable, unsettling atmosphere of the film, of
Yeah.
the, you know, of the house that the film is primarily set in. And Daniel Kaluuya, I think his name is, who plays the main character, Chris. He's fantastic. He's actually a Brit. He's English,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he puts on an American accent very convincingly, and he's really good in this film. He does a really good job of playing the main character, who's, you know, he's just trying to go through the motions. He's trying to be positive. He's trying to sort of take things in his stride, and he's put in this impossible situation, in this absurd, you know, horrible situation towards the end of the film, and it's so compelling to watch, and he portrays it fantastically. And Alison Williams as the girlfriend is also very good. Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener as the parents are also very good. They portrayed the whole passive racism thing in a very convincing way, and also they sell the I'm not sure what to say here, because I don't particularly want to go into. I don't
Just if
don't want
it's
to
a spoiler,
Basically,
don't say anything.
they played their parts really well.
Okay.
They played them really well, and so does Caleb Landry Jones, the two actors that play the servants.
Georgina and Walter.
Yes, they are. They freak you out, and
Yeah, they look. I've seen the trailers. They look creepy as hell.
they are, and
I'm terrified. Man.
you realise what's happened to them, obviously, when you watch the film, but yeah, it's you end up feeling more sorry for them as opposed to like scared of them. But I won't go into any more detail. And Lil Ray Howery, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who plays
His mate at home or something, doesn't he?
yeah, his cousin that he's often on the phone to. He's great. He's hilarious. He's like Michael Pena. Like, he's sort of he's got that kind of ilk.
I'm looking at his picture now. He looks like the guy who will just be
He says what the audience thinks.
like, why are you
He's
still in that
someone
house?
in the film primarily, you know, like, depicts the very horrible, absurd, unsettling events that are happening in the house.
Yeah.
But he sort of grounds the film in the sense that he gives the audience someone to, like, relate to in those moments where everything.
So
is
you're not just
unsettling
screaming at the screen like in Kong.
Yeah, exactly. It's very it grounds the film, and it reins you in those moments where everything seems a bit ridiculous. Everything seems a bit like
What the hell?
yeah. So his character's great, and yeah, I think it's very well directed. It's shot well. It's like the music. The music is cracking. It's brilliant music. It sets the tone. It's just wonderful, and yeah. I mean, the only real criticism I have is that, like I say, I'm not sure if the horror and the comedy necessarily work together. Having said that, though, I really enjoyed the film, so I think it did work really well together. So, Get Out, surprisingly, is it's a brilliant film. It's a brilliant piece of work, and it's very impressive. And it's you know, for horror fans, it's fantastic. I think for anyone who's a fan of good cinema, this is your film to watch.
Yeah.
So
I'll watch it soon. I promise.
Yeah. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on it.
You'll probably just
For someone who's not necessarily, you know,
keen on
into the horror genre.
I can't stand it, to be honest.
I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
I think I'll appreciate it.
I think you will really
You'll
enjoy
just
it.
like hear my voice in the next podcast. I'll just be sat there going, "Why would you make me do that? What did you do to me?"
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again if I was.
Oh, might go see it together then.
Possibly. So yeah, Get Out. I'd probably give it. I mean, I was going to initially give it an 8 out of 10, but after
Sounds better than that.
Yeah, I think I'd give it probably about a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great film, and also Jordan Peele says that he's when he makes more films, because hopefully he does, because he's a really great director.
Yeah.
He's going to build on this universe. He's going to make a kind of cinematic universe from this film, which would be very interesting to see. And because for a lot of this film, you're not really sure what to expect. It's exciting because, I mean, who knows what to expect? How is it going to build on this world? So that would be very interesting to see, definitely. So yeah, Get Out.
Wow.
So,
Well,
I tell you what, I didn't want to get out the cinema.
dear God. Right. That's all the films.
Yes,
we've done.
and we've ended up somehow equaling the length
Of last time.
Yeah.
We talked about Logan for 35 minutes.
We
though.
talked about Logan an awful lot.
And that's alright, because it's the spotlight.
Yeah, and it was a great film.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Brilliant.
Now, what's happening next month?
We've got a lot of films coming in next month. We still haven't seen, Beauty and the Beast.
We still have... No, neither.
There's tons of films we haven't seen. There's Fist Fight, which you're not too keen on.
No, I'm not bothered about seeing
But I've heard it was a review from my brother. He said it's one of these funny films, you wouldn't give it 10 out of 10, you'd give it about 5 or 6, but you go in, you watch it, you laugh, you leave.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
There's been a few of these this month, actually, like Kong and the Great Wall. You go in, it's not going to hold up as best of all time, but it's going to be
funny,
it's going to be fun to watch at the pictures, yeah.
So that's Fist Fight. I can't remember any others, to be honest, my mind's gone blank. But we don't know what our spotlight will be for April.
We don't have any idea, really.
There's nothing huge coming out, I don't think, because Logan was very advertised. La La Land was very advertised.
Yeah, they were both very big commercial films.
So it's going to be a surprise.
Yes, surprise even to ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for clicking the video.
I'm just drawing this out. Just drawing it out.
So long.
Yeah. We should probably list some of the other films that we might be talking about.
Oh.
Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Life, which is horror, sci-fi horror.
One of these films are probably going to be the spotlight.
Probably. Maybe even Power Rangers.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Life, maybe, but Power Rangers would be
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
that could be
they're
one.
starting their own universe.
Wait, there was another one. Ghost in the Shell.
Ooh. You really want to see that, don't you?
I don't really want to see it.
You
but
just want to see it.
I don't.
I don't really want to see it.
I mean, they're having a midnight screening of it and everything.
They're really.
I think it has a big following. Mind you, anime, that's very popular.
Yeah, I think they just thought screw it and do it.
Screw it and do it. Yeah.
Good. Right.
By the way, did you know they're making they're planning on making 5 sequels to Power Rangers? I just thought I'd mention that because we've been talking about cinematic universes. Like apparently,
What is with making a cinematic universe for every film now at the minute?
well, it's the new, it's the new norm, isn't it? It's
Well,
just
Marvel
like
did
everyone
it.
does it.
I guess they realise Marvel's in their last phase, aren't they? They're in phase 3 at the minute.
Yeah,
They'll be done by the time of 2021.
Who knows what they're going to do after that? Who knows?
Remake, reboots. That's what they'll do. That's what everyone
just
does.
like the comics, they did the exact same thing in the comics. They rebooted everything.
Yeah, but it just makes money and it keeps people entertained. So.
Yeah, it's all about the dollar.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine reaching the age of 21 and not seeing another Marvel film.
No, neither can I.
Exactly, and that's what the studio's
I
thinking.
mean, now we're getting 3 years. Just...
Yeah, they'll just fire all the people and they'll get set new people in, and off you go again.
Yeah.
Starting with Iron Man, probably. I hope it's a good film.
Yeah.
Right.
Iron Man 2 isn't.
Oh, don't you say that.
Alright.
It's a good film. We'll talk about that.
One day. There's a lot of discussions we need to have.
So many.
The future is going to be interesting.
We need to
The future
just
of this
have a
channel
whole
is
day
gonna be
when
interesting.
we just get together and we just talk.
We just record several episodes of
Yeah.
us just talking about
films that we've seen in the past.
all kinds of things.
Oh
Yeah.
god, we could just do a whole Star Wars episode.
Star
1 to
Wars.
8.
Yeah. Ooh.
It will be. Oh, actually, if we do it before.
Plus Rogue One.
Yeah, 1 to 8.
Oh, I see. That's what you meant.
Rogue
by one.
One,
I thought you meant
yeah.
including the Last Jedi.
Because now Force Awakens is 8. Because Rogue One slots in as a 3.5.
Oh
kind
no!
of thing.
Don't do this to me.
I know
You're
it's
gonna mess
so.
up all the.
It's,
Ah.
yeah.
Right. Well, shall we finish it here?
Let's finish it here.
Okay then. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please do comment on this video.
Share it with your friends.
Share it around.
Show
Like
it your cat.
Yeah. Show
Show-
it your dog.
If you've got a lizard, don't show it because they don't like podcasts. They're very stubborn,
Are they?
apparently. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you very much for watching, and join us next month when we'll be rocking down to Picture Avenue. I'm trying not to say that in a forced, cheesy way again.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone watching, but yeah,
Yeah.
if you managed to listen for this far, well done. Because I can't even listen to this for the whole time.
I listened to the whole of the last episode
I was
again.
shocked. I listened to about half it.
What,
before
you were shocked by hearing your own voice? No,
No, I was shocked that you
it's-
listened to it the whole way. I had to turn it off halfway through. I was like,
yeah,
I
you-
can't do it. I mean, I sat through the damn thing and I recorded it.
Well, we very much appreciate anyone who...
Who's literally here.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
very much appreciate it. And again, any feedback we gladly accept.
Yes.
So yes, have a great month, guys.
Go see the films.
Yeah, enjoy the
Leave a
pictures.
suggestion for us to review a film.
Yes, yes.
If we've missed any out. Which we probably definitely have this month.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
very busy. Very busy.
Yeah. Next month there'll be a few
lot.
more films.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, everyone. All right.
Oh, wait, hang on a
Oh.
minute. We need to finish it the same way we did last time. It was like, my name's my name's da-da-da-da. Thank you to coming down to Picture Avenue.
All right. My name's Dirt. This is Dirt. Right. My name's Callum.
My name's Harry.
And thank you
For joining us
at Picture Avenue. We will script a proper ending for next month.
We will do. Bye. Guys.